Welcome back to Movie Trailer Reviews. We are fresh off of San Diego Comic-Con. This is your host, Chris and Phenom here, and we're back with some reviews. The Insanity Check is off this week, but we'll have a review coming out. We'll have some Super Tuesdays coming in, some other things. So we're actually really, really busy coming out with some stuff. So stay tuned. But today we are back to review Atomic Blonde, starring Charlize Theron. An undercover MI6 agent is sent to Berlin during the Cold War to investigate the murder of a fellow agent and recover a missing list of double agents. It is directed by David Leitch. He's one of the directors for John Wick, isn't he? No, he's one of the.
The name looks familiar, but
yeah,
I didn't recognize where
I'm
I
trying to
seen
see. He got a director credit for.
Like
Yeah, he's got an uncredited director credit for John Wick. He's directing Deadpool 2. I think that must be he was one of the I think he was the second unit director for John Wick. Was that it? He's something. I think maybe he's a stunt coordinator or something. Yeah, I've seen his name before. But yeah, he's doing that. So he's got Atomic Blonde here, and it's an interesting film to review, man.
I don't. It is a film that wants to be so many things, but is really only good at one or two things that it sets out to accomplish.
Look, I'll just go right out there with the thing that it's really good at. Yo, when there's action and they do the action thing with Theron, it's really good. Like, It's brutal. Like, I actually think they sold and I think this goes on to some of the things that are negative with the film too. Them selling this as the first female Bond film is stupid because it's not Bond. Like, no, this is not a Bond type film. The only thing that's similar to Bond is the fact that they're both technically spies, but that's it. Like, if anything, this is closer, and this for better or worse, to the first Mission Impossible movie with some of the twists and turns there. But it's not a Bond film. Like, it's not even close to a Bond film.
When do we actually see her doing spy shit?
Well, let's stick with the good stuff. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay,
because
I didn't even know it was being sold as a Bond film. I thought it was just being sold as like this really, really violent femme fatale type product.
Well, that's what it should have been sold as. But you know what it is, and it's the sexism in the industry now. So that, in order to sell anything, everything's now the female insert male character, female Bond. It's a female. It's like, no, it's its own film. There are other films that are similar to it, but like you said, I think La Femme Nikita or anything like that would be more similar to the vein and tone of this film than Bond. Like, it's not a Bond film. It's so far beyond it's not even close. It's not even the same ballpark of a Bond film, and that's not me trying to be negative or downplay this. They're just two different types of film that go for two different types of thing. Like, Bond is a very big, is gadgets, is all this stuff. Like, this film is very, very small. They try to be, I would say, more realistic with some of the stuff they do in the fight scenes. And like I said, the fight scenes are great. Like, there's that one on the stairs where she fights those two dudes. That shit is brutal as fuck.
Where old boy just wouldn't go down.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I looked at the trailers, I just assumed that this was like Point of No Return 2017.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm completely all into this, or a film like Long Kiss Goodnight. Like, I love those films. When they have these female characters that you really don't know if they're crazy or not, but you know that people don't need to fuck with them. And for 90 minutes to an hour, people just seem to keep fucking with them.
Yeah.
So I appreciated all that, and like you said, that's one of the things that the film accomplishes. The thing that sucks about it is it doesn't come until later in the film. Really, they give you these taste of it, like these samplings of it, and those samplings, while they're cool, they seem really like fly by night, kind of par for the course fight scenes in a film. Like, oh, it's expected that you would fight. They're nowhere near as fucking good as the shit you get to at the end of the film.
Yeah. I mean, and you knew that this was going to be a grittier type of film, and they were really going to have some good fight scenes because, I mean, the film opens up with her taking an ice bath and her literally bruised. It's like they show you I said they're going for more realism than any Bond film will go with, and you get that in some of these fights and some of these scenes. Is how they do some of the stuff. I mean, they're clearly choreographed fight scenes, but they're gritty as fuck. Like they get brutal. Like there's one that's actually not just the one. There's two. There's the one.
Say there's a couple.
There's a couple that just like you're watching them going, God damn, that's brutal. Damn, that's brutal. Like there's one time when dude got like stabbed with keys, and you're like, dude, can you pull the keys out of your cheek? Because
he fought for the next 5 minutes with keys hanging out of his face on the ring. Motherfucker face looked like the ignition.
Right.
I was like,
and they were jingling. The keys were jingling. The keys were jingling. I was like, yeah, I need you guys to go ahead and take care of this because this is fucking me.
This is hard to watch.
It's fucking with me right now. So, but yeah, I think that's really good. I also see this like, and I for some reason I didn't know that he was in the film. James McAvoy's in this film.
How did you not know he's in the film? He's all up in the trailer.
Because you know what it is? I barely watch the trailers. Like I always see. I saw TV spots. I saw TV spot, and he's not. I don't think he's in the TV spots like that. So
I've only seen TV trailers for it.
Okay.
I mean, TV spot ones, and he's that scene where he leans down and she's in the car after it wrecks, and she shoots at him. That scene is in every TV spot trailer. That's how I knew he was basically in it off of his the damn M Night film he just did. He's basically got the same.
Yeah, he got the yeah.
And it's still shit.
Yeah. And I liked him in this film. You know, I liked him. I liked his interactions with Charlize. I like Charlize in this film. Like I think that was good. Like I said, I think there's. I'll put it this before we get into the negatives. I think there's enough here that people. There's enough here that people that want to see this film. I don't think you should stop you from going to see the film. I'll put it that way.
Right.
I think the problem comes in that this is just not a good script. It's lazy.
It's a bad spy script. Like once I realized that they were going for a spy double agent type film, it just at that point I'm like, okay, outside of the very like charismatic, over dramatized 80s flair with the music and the look, like
at some point got over the top.
I liked all of that. I thought that pizzazz was different from what you see in other films of this caliber or in this genre. What took me out was actually following the conversations and what everybody the fuck was talking about. And that's pretty much where the film lost me. It also lost me with the amount of fucking cigarettes actors are forced to smoke in this film, along with how many times they made Charlize Theron just walk across some shit.
I'll go with the cigarettes just because it's the 80s and god damn it, but people smoked a lot of fucking cigarettes in the 80s. Like it was like you watch it and you're going, god damn, the 80s were disgusting. God damn it.
They're all gonna die.
Right.
All I can think was they all have cancer now. Like there's just no way they don't.
Right. It's like, yo, fuck being a spy is not healthy for you. You're gonna fucking die with all these stickers. You're like, you got a 10-pack a day habit. Wait, what the fuck's going on with you?
Yeah, it's really bad.
But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you're gonna do a spy thriller, don't. And I'm saying that as a person who likes spy thrillers, but I say that because most times they're not done well. And they're not done well because I think everybody thinks they can do a spy thriller, that they can do twists and turns, and it never really works as well as you think it is going to be. You always think you're more clever than you are, and I feel like these films always struggle to find a balance with hiding whatever twist they're going to have, because they always all have a fucking twist. So they either hide the twist so well that it becomes unbelievable when you see it going like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, or it's so obvious and blatant, but they drag it out and you're still going, come on, we know this is what's going to happen. Why are you
trying can you get to the point? I mean, 2015 was a good year for spy films. We had Man from U.N.C.L.E. We had the last Bond film. We had the spy film with Melissa McCarthy.
Well, and like that was outside the Bond one, yeah.
Year full of different Kingsman was that year.
Right.
Like, that was just a year full of different types of spy films.
Exactly.
At this point, though, if you're not doing either the sequel to Man from U.N.C.L.E., a Bond film, or this Kingsman film, I'm not sure why you are lingering in the spy genre. You can take all of the elements from the spy genre that make it dope. The cool looking, like, main character that's just a really, really cool dude bro-ish type person. The fucking fight scenes, the car chases, the stylish dress and fashion, the talk, the lingo. You can take all of that without actually making a spy film from a spy film and just throw it into a film. And that's why I feel like this film fell, because it has all of that stuff. When it doesn't know how to pull back, like it really hams up some spy elements that's just not done well. And then the other parts that it's like trying to be conservative spyish, those aren't done well either. Like the whole interrogation shit with John Goodman and fucking Toby Jones, that shit is, I get it, they needed that as a narrative starting point, but
it wasn't done well. You have two very good. If you think about it, three. You had three really good actors in that room, because you had Charlize Theron, you have John Goodman. Who's the other guy? Who's the guy? He was in He was Zola. No. The guy sitting next to James to Goodwin, John Goodwin, because you had yeah. So you have three really good actors in a room, but at no point do you really get any really good interaction between the three of them. Like, they're there, but there's no, like, aha, like, that's a good moment with these three characters. Like, and I feel like that happens a lot in this film, where you have moments where you know what it is? All the actors in this film are so much better than the script they had.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, again, I think Charlize and James McAvoy, because they had the majority of the parts, they elevate this movie to again, a movie that I think people should watch or are going to want to watch. But it's off of them alone. It's off of their charisma, it's off of their acting, because what they're given to do doesn't live up to their abilities. Like, no, it just doesn't.
They have actors that are very good at doing absolutely nothing on screen for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And then when you give them something good to do, you forget that they haven't been doing anything for the last 40 minutes. Because they're given to do so goddamn well. Mm-hmm. I mean, like you said, they got James McAvoy, they got Charlize Theron, they've got Slim John Goodman, they got Toby Jones, and they got who's about to be my favorite fucking character of 2017, Bill Skarsgård, in this bitch. Like, literally playing just a side
he did nothing. Role. He did nothing. He did almost nothing in this film.
This is motherfucking Pennywise, okay? Yeah. And this guy is just in this film as the help. He literally is the help.
Right, he really is.
You know, like, I appreciated, like, what his character did to carry the story along, but it's just, you know what I realized right now while talking about this and thinking about the way this film was shot and how they set up these characters and didn't use them? This is a film that pretentiously thinks it's going to get a sequel. And in the sequel, it's going to be able to give you more from these characters. And I think that it is a dumb concept. Like, I feel like it got what it needed from certain characters that won't be in the sequel. And then other characters it has in this film that are amazing actors, it didn't use them very well at all, because, now that you know all the twist, now you're going to get to see how useful this character really is in the sequel. And it's like, but are we getting a sequel? Because I'm really worried about this tanking at the box office.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it'll tank, because I think enough people will go to see it.
It has no competition.
Right, so. And it really doesn't. But let me see who the screenplay writer on, because it's apparently, I need to read the graphic novel this part of this is built based off of. The guy who wrote this also wrote the screenplay for. So here's the thing: the guy who wrote this also wrote the screenplay for the 300 films, and I'm like, both of those are based off of graphic novels. Even this one, so I don't think he has the range.
300 is not a good film. I stand beside that.
It
is the Get Rich or Die Trying of movies.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say it's a good film, but I enjoy watching at least the first one.
I enjoy watching. Again, it is the Get Rich or Die Trying of films. I loved it the first time. It seemed like it was really good. And then you go back and you try to listen to that album again, and you realize that for at least the whole middle of the album, 50 Cent isn't giving you anything.
I mean,
that's 300 is a film that is built off of like flair.
Yeah, it's built. Yeah, no, absolutely. I will tell you, there is no. That's why I'm like, when I say that he wrote this, I'm like, okay, I can see that, because he didn't have to do a lot of writing in 300. No. You don't have to do a lot of writing in 300. other than the narrator, there's not a lot of talking. There's a lot of catchphrases or one-liners here and there, but it's more of a stylized film. In a way, that's kind of what they go with in Atomic Blonde. Like there's a lot more visually here than there is writing things to do. Like there's a lot of scenes where there's just a scene where it's Charlize Theron looking at something or doing something or just sitting there, or while the music is playing or something like that. There's a lot of that going on in this film. Like there is not a lot of written. When it comes to things like, and then when you see the big flaws in this film, when you get an actor or actress who isn't really good at acting, Sophia, what's her name?
Let her live. They used her as a plot device.
Sophia Butelli. She's the one that played the mummy in the new Mummy film. All right.
No.
Yeah, she is. And I knew her face looked familiar, and I couldn't figure out where I saw her from. And I looked it up. I was like, "That's what it is." And she was also in Star Trek Beyond. She was the Jyla in Star Trek Beyond. So, and then she was in the first Kingsman movie as well. She was the chick in the with the legs.
Bruh, why is James Faulkner's character named Chief C? Why does this film want to be Bond so bad?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
And I thought he had a name. So, but yeah, so Sophia's in this film, and I don't want to disparage her, but she's just, they don't give her anything to do other than, like you say, be a plot device and really be
a sexual plot device.
A sexual plot device to get a sex scene with her and Charlize, of course. And it's not a spoiler because you see it.
No reason. Like,
for no reason.
Just to have a romance. Like, they needed a romance, and they didn't. The first romantic character of Charlize is already gone. So they needed to give her another one. And it needed to be this chick because that's just the type of film this is. You know, women just be fucking in the 80s. Like, that, they just be fucking each other.
Right.
And that's in the trailer too.
Yeah.
So I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Just the fucking the car chase scenes, the gunfight scenes, the hand-to-hand fighting scenes, the straight out street brawls, the chasing, like all of that is done well. The surprise action scenes, like when you think people have gotten away, like all of those scenes are done very well. This film is just held captive by poorly written screenplay dialogue. It's just, this film could have been a smooth 50 minutes of greatness, and I would have been completely happy with it. It could have been a short action film, and I would have been like, hey, it's 70 minutes long, but that shit is dope as fuck. Like, it'll get longevity because you'll keep watching it for the action scenes. But nobody wants to sit and linger through the first 50 minutes of what the hell are they talking about, and why does that even matter? In this film, like, you're definitely going to fast forward this on your second watch through. I just can't see you. Or you're going to go do the dishes or something while this is playing until it gets to the fucking action scenes.
Or you're going to wait until the action scenes hit YouTube.
And wake up.
I mean, it just, like I said, I and again, here's the thing. I don't think it's a bad film. Like,
no,
this is a film I actually would watch it on TV. If it came on TV, I'd be like, oh, Atomic Blonde's on. I'm going to watch this film. Like, I'd watch it there. Right. So, I'd watch it. I'd let it go. But I'd also know that, like, you can, and I don't know. I feel like this film is more along the lines of, and again, it's not, because it's not really a spy film either. It reminds me of the film like Ronin. Like, in terms of just being gritty, and I like that film. Like, I think it's a really good film.
I don't remember that film at all either. I think I just posted.
No, that was a long time ago. It's a film that has Sean.
Yeah, it was a really long time ago. Like, I watched it when I was mad young.
Yeah. But I mean that in terms of the feel for it, and that's how everything feels kind of close to ground, gritty and realistic. It just doesn't do the story part right. And I guess that's what I'm waiting for one of these films. Like, I think there is room to do a spy thriller that's not Bond, but more gritty. Because even when you look at the technology they use, or how they use bugs, and how they're going after, they jacked from the first Mission Impossible movie. They're going after basically a knocklist, a list of all these undercover agents. We've done that before. Even the way they hide that, like the technology they use, it's not Bond technology. It's legit spy 80s technology. Like, it's legit shit you see. I just, like, And then they go down one path, and you see it happening, and then they try to do this twist, and the twist bothers me because one, it didn't make any fucking sense, and two, like,
Nope.
you know what it is? Like at the beginning of this review, I said that these films usually do two things, right? Which is they either hide the twist so well that by the time you get to the end, you say, "Fuck that doesn't make sense," or it's so blatant you're just waiting for it to happen. This film miraculously does both because they do something and you're like, okay, I know this is how it's gonna go, and it kind of goes that way. Then it's like all of a sudden they realize, damn, that was too blatant. We need to throw two more twists in here. And they come out of left field, and you're just like, you know you didn't earn that, right?
But
and,
are they twists, Chris?
And they're not.
Like if you know that Bruce Willis is dead, like if Bruce Willis turns around in the first 5 minutes of The Sixth Sense and you see that gunshot wound dried up on his jacket, is it really a twist 90 minutes later when you find out he's dead?
You're right.
I just, when I'm watching this, I saw the twist immediately. I was like, oh, okay, so how long am I going to have to sit through them trying to fake me out of this twist? And they do. It's like watching an old white woman juke on the football field.
It's a terrible fucking job.
Not get past the defensive lineman.
Yeah,
all the shibbies you doing ain't about to do you no goodness.
Now what I want to know is when they cut this film and they were like, yeah, it's done, and they reveal the twist, and they all go, damn, we did a good job here. Because I need to. I can't see how anybody saw this and went, damn.
They got me, dog.
That's smart. Because it's
only
not
4
smart.
But I didn't see that shit coming.
Right. It's not smart. It's not a smart film.
Active characters in this movie.
You said when
there are 4. It's 4 active characters in this movie. The rest of them are sitting down the whole film.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, we can rate. It's got amazing action, y'all. It's got a very good soundtrack. I think it looks beautiful. I love the gritty look of it. I love all of the little effects that they did in Adobe Premiere and Illustration and whatever else. Like, I think all of that shit was done well. This screenplay is trash. It's just, and it's supposed to be based on a graphic novel. The coldest. Well, here's the thing. I think it might be one of those things that's based on a graphic novel, but like a chapter in a graphic novel, so it's not a full graphic novel. So they didn't have a lot to work with because they got to stop doing that too. Like if you don't have a full story in a graphic novel, you better get a good writer to flesh the rest of that shit out. And I don't think they did it here. Just get a good writer. Like, just get a good fucking writer. You can't turn 1 page of panels into a 90-minute or 2-hour film, bro. Like, come on. It's just not good. It's just not a good screenplay. All right. And I know Charlize was an executive producer on this as well. Like, she made sure that her shit.
Oh, yeah.
The action scenes and all of that was done extremely well. And her acting is fucking superb. Like, her delivery of the weak lines are superb. I don't think her smoking of every cigarette in this film, all 3,000 of them, is superb. I don't think it's anything that she could have done wrong. I love her interactions with John Goodman and Toby Jones. I loved her interaction with McAvoy the most. I love that they have this love-hate relationship through this whole film. But you can't just get 5 amazing actors and think that they're going to carry a very, very poorly done copycatted script. Like, I don't want to see any more films where they're trying to steal God's eye back. When Fast and Furious starts doing fucking spy elements, it's time to let those elements go. When they become that simple to be done, okay?
Well, this is what we didn't talk about. When you watch the film, you find out that Charlize Theron basically has 2 different missions, and the list is literally is not. The list is so unimportant. It's not unimportant, but it's not really the thing, right? It's trying to find out the double agent. Like, that's the thing she's really there for. And so I'm like, why are you guys adding in all this other? Like, they hit every trope from finding this list to protecting some asset that they need to get out of the country to finding a double agent. Like, every spy trope you can think of, they shove into this movie, and I'm like, guys, you're basically trying to put 3 movies worth of information into a movie that's under 2 hours. Stop it.
They could have just had people when she showed up in Russia or whatever they were. They could have just had people trying to kill her for 90 minutes.
That's it. That's all you need to do.
Perfect.
That's all you had to do. That would have been it. That would have been the movie. I'd watch the shit out of that.
She did all that. Like, she could have been like, I'm looking for a list, and everybody is like, I got a list for you, and they just keep trying to kill her. And that could have just been the whole fucking movie.
Even better.
Is her trying to figure out why the fuck all these people are trying to kill her. And are they even really after this list? Or are they just after her? Like, what the fuck is going on? And all the information that everyone keeps giving her is really bad. It's like, no, go here and you'll be safe. And she goes there and they try to kill her. And they're like, our bad. We didn't know they were there waiting for you. Go to this place. And she goes there and they try to kill her again. And she's just confused. But then maybe they help her. So you're like, oh, they're not trying to get her killed. They are on her side. She just has bad luck. And then they tell her to go somewhere else and she tries to kill him. They try to kill her again. They could have just did that for 90 fucking minutes and it would have been fucking amazing because they knew how to shoot the fight scenes. They knew how to shoot the action scenes. They knew how to do the gun violence. Like, they were brutal. It was brawlish. It was great. It looked amazing. It was gritty. And they decided they only needed to do it for about 25 minutes of a 2-hour film. And I don't understand why. Those had to have been the funnest scenes to shoot. Why didn't you just do that for 2 fucking hours?
Even better. The film is basically set in East and West Berlin with the fall of the Berlin Wall. All they had to do is set a 90-minute thriller with this MI6 spy trying to get across the border. That's it. That's the movie right there. You don't need to do. You don't do a list. You don't do anything else. Her trying to escape and get across the border would have been the movie. You're done.
I got you, Chris. I got you. Take your idea. Keep the list. Make it so that the list gets into the wrong fucking hands.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. And now, and like you said, now we take your plot. She's trying to get across the fucking line to get to safe country. Boom. Nobody ever does that in these films. I don't know why. They spend the whole film trying to keep the list from falling into the wrong hands.
The list's already in the wrong hands.
But let's do what HBO did with Confederate, and let's flip it. And let's say, what if the list fell into the wrong hands already?
And go from there.
Boom.
Yeah.
Now we have an action drama that's worth it.
All right. I know what I would give this film. What would you give this film, man?
It's. I'm being nice. I'm being really nice. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, that's what I was giving it.
They're so done so damn well, but I'm being really fucking nice because it probably deserves less.
Yeah.
Just off having to sit through the first 40 minutes of nothingness.
Without the acting of the Theron and McAvoy, who carry the majority of, and McAvoy, honestly, McAvoy is really good in this film. Like, I mean, he's good in almost every film he's in anyway, but he's really good in this film, and he's just goodness. Yeah, he's good. But then the action scenes also are great, and they're gritty, and you feel every punch, you feel every cut, you feel everything. There's times in this scene in this movie when you're watching the fight scenes go down, you're gonna want to look away. And this is not like, say, and again, you guys know how I feel about comic book movies. It's not like comic book movies where where Black Widow does all this stuff. She gets hit, she falls off something, she limps for like 2 minutes, and then she's back to feeling. No, Charlize Theron gets fucked up in this movie. Like, fucked up.
And everybody she's fucking up, they get fucked up together. Like,
the one scene where her and the other dude were barely able to stand and they were fighting each other. Like, everybody in the theater laughed, but you're like, damn, it's because you guys really have fucked each other up. You guys can't even stand. You're right.
You're fucking each other up. So all of that was done well. And I know that a lot of people are going to see this. Oh, it's like a Bourne film. Yeah, except that they pulled the camera back.
You actually see the fights. You see the punches.
It's shot better than a fucking Bourne film.
It's a lot better than a Bourne film.
Boom. So,
yeah, I give it a 7. Yeah,
completely cool with this dude directing Deadpool.
Yeah,
afterwards, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I think again, it has its flaws, but I think a 7 is good enough for what you again. And I think I wish there were more fight scenes, but there are enough, and when they are there, they're brutal enough that I think if people go to watch this film, you'll enjoy it. Like, you will. So I have no problem saying that at all. So again, you can find the rest of our reviews on mtrnetwork.net or search for movie trailer reviews on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music. Get them all there. Everything should be working up and now. Like I said, we're off this week for the Insanity Check on the MTR Network, but we have plenty of stuff coming out. Check out our YouTube page. I just put up 6 of our interviews. Shanna was our point person on interviews for Van Helsing. She has those interviews up. We have a bunch of other interviews. I'm going to try to get some Dark Matter ones up tomorrow. Maybe get some Black Lightning interviews up this weekend. So stay tuned to our YouTube page, MTR Network, there. And check out strangecoolworld.com for Phenom's pictures, and just follow him on Instagram. It's Phenom Black. Yeah, he's still putting all those images up. I have some I'll be putting up as well. So just follow us all there. And we have, if you go to mtrnetwork.net and click on the top, you'll see our Comic-Con hub. That's just bookmark that page. One, we're going to have a bunch of more stuff coming out for San Diego Comic-Con. Because like I said, we were just so swamped, we did not get a chance to put everything out during the con. So a lot of stuff coming out there. But that's also going to be our permanent hub now. So San Diego Comic-Cons, New York Comic-Cons, Awesome Con, NeoCon, anything we post on the site will go in that little hub. You can click it on one so we can find it all in one spot. You just go to there, and you'll find that one page. You'll see all of our posts, our interviews, things coming out. We have that there. So yeah, also coming out, probably won't come out for a while, but I did get to talk to Reginald Hudlin and Chadwick Boseman about Marshall. I saw that on Monday. Doesn't come out until October, so I probably won't release the interview stuff for that until closer to that. But I'll just say this: Boseman, both of them were cool, but Boseman just keeps it real, man. He keeps it super real. He's a chill dude, and yeah. So stay tuned for all that stuff. So again, folks, thank you very much for listening to our review of Atomic Blonde. And until next time, we're out of here. Peace.